Ethan from Nashville, Tennessee, he said, I heard you on Nashville radio today talking about Cam Ward being the right pick for the Titans. Can you share more on them or go deeper on it? I found it very interesting. Yeah, I can. This is the first and only time that I talked about the Titans all year. And I don't ever talk NFL. I don't ever talk draft. But I was on radio with Buck Rising and Lucas Panzica earlier today here in Nashville, 104.5 The Zone. And they were asking me about Cam Ward, and, you know, I'm around Miami a fair amount. I've seen a lot of Cam Ward. I've seen a lot of him that no one else saw because they're kind enough to give us access down there. Candidly, not many other people get. So I've been around Cam Ward a fair amount the past year. And I realized, oh, I've actually got stories about Cam Ward that no one else has. I can tell them now because the season's over. So I'll give you a few of them because I shared this on radio earlier today. You know how if you've ever played organized sports, there's the kid that's talented, therefore the coaches want him to be the leader of the team, but he just doesn't have it in him to be a leader. And you know when someone's faking that because it's so cringeworthy. When someone tries to be a vocal leader, but he's not wired to be one, it is so cringeworthy. Whatever the opposite of that is, that's Cam Ward. So I'm down there last summer. PLWs, player-led workouts, are happening in summer. It's not the coaches on the field. It's just the players running the workouts. Cam Ward at that point has just gotten on campus. And I'm down there meeting with people. I'm down there working out that day, but the way Miami's practice facility is configured, the weight room opens up to the indoor practice field. So I got the door open so I can hear them practicing out there. So all of them arrive and they're getting together. Cam Ward, if you picture a general commanding troops, that's what it looked like. This dude just walked on campus. This is major college football. This dude just walked in here from Washington State. Like most people, candidly, playing at Miami cannot point out Pullman, Washington on a map. Most people watching the show can't. So he's been playing out in some other state, in some other part of the country, halfway to Russia, and he comes down here, and you got some good players on that Miami team. And not only do every one of them have their mouth shut listening to him, he's in their face dog cussing them, and they're taking it. Linemen are taking it just as much as wide receivers are taking it. And I remember looking at that and thinking to myself, he's been on campus a week, less than a week at the point I was down there. It's such a testament to what legit alpha leadership looks like. Because there were guys who have been at Miami 4 years who could never get away with that. He walked in the door and within 72 hours had the entire program by the throat. Second thing I remember about Cam Ward is in the fall, I'm at practice one day. It's the middle of the season. And I'm out there at practice one day. I'm standing behind the line of scrimmage. They're doing red zone. No, I'll tell you what, it wasn't the regular season. They got into fall camp, and I went to a practice during fall camp. And they're working red zone. And it's towards the end of practice. And so they're working towards this end zone. I'm standing back here. I can hear Shannon Dawson calling the plays in. I'm standing there watching them from behind the line of scrimmage. And Ward threads one for a touchdown. And either Mario, Shannon Dawson, somebody just looked over at the officials who you have working practice and just told them, just call a hold. There wasn't one. Just call a hold. Let's just see what happens. They're trying to push him mentally. And so he loses it for a second because he knows good and well it was a bad call. But they just regroup and they go score again. And then they call another phantom penalty to negate the score because they just want to see how he's going to react. And he loses it again, composes himself again. They go down there a third time. They call a third penalty on him. They re-rack it again, go down there. This dude scores 28 points worth of red zone touchdowns over the span of probably 10 minutes of real time when you factor in how long it took. All they were doing was pushing him mentally because he did not go through spring with them. So they're trying to figure out, yeah, we know he's got arm talent. We know he's incredibly mobile, but like neck up. Can we count on him? Live bullets flying. I mean, what's he going to do? Is he going to get penalties? Is he going to lose his mind, lose his cool? And I think that day, I was watching a lot of guys walk off the field. You got coaches looking at each other just smiling because they know, all right, we learned a lot today. None of it was physical. We learned a lot today. Then later in the year, that was when we were down there during the season. He's in the thick of the Heisman race. And I was down there. They'd probably practiced that day. I'm down there, and the Heisman Trust sends him a letter. And the Heisman Trust, I don't know if you've ever gotten mail from the Heisman, but it looks pretty legit when it comes in. And so we got sports information types holding that letter, and they're like, check this. Hey, quick timeout. Check and see if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're not, I humbly ask that you click subscribe. It's free. It doesn't sign you up for anything. What it does is it helps us keep this show free so we can just do college football year round. All right, back to the clip. This out, man. This is from the Heisman. Look at that seal. Looks like a wedding invitation. And so they've wrapped up practice. Some assistant goes and gets Cam Ward, bring him back down the tunnel, and he's handed his letter. Now, this is not a letter that announces that you're a finalist. It's one of those letters that says you're kind of on the narrowed down watch list. Like you're really on the radar. You're probably going to be a Heisman finalist. I am telling you, if you got this piece of mail, this thing would go on your mantle until the end of time. It's that fancy looking. He takes that thing, looks at it, says, "What is this?" He's not performing for anyone. I don't even think he knew anyone else could hear it. He just looks at it and says, "What is this?" And he has it explained to him. And he said, "So I'm not even a finalist. Like this doesn't even mean anything to me." And just, it's on the ground. I should have picked it up, but I didn't. And just walks off. Not a disrespectful move at all. I'm just saying, up until you actually achieve something to him, it didn't really matter how fancy the lettering was. It didn't matter how cool that seal looked. It's just, didn't really mean as much as maybe it would have to someone else. Anyway, those are the observations I had of Cam Ward in the past year going down to Miami. And I have zero doubt in my mind that this organization here across the river needs a lot. But you won't need to guess who the alpha leader in the room is anymore, because the second you draft that dude, you got that taken care of. Now, it's up to you whether you surround him with the right pieces. And you can do it, take it or leave it. I'm not a Titans fan, so I don't really care. But I would love to, on Sundays, look across the river as we're here working and see a full stadium instead of a partially full stadium and half the colors are the opposing team's colors. That would be nice for a change. So, yeah, we were talking about that on radio earlier today. It's nice that one of you was listening. It's just Cam Ward, different cat. Different cat.